Hi everybody, Bryant Greening from LegalRideshare. I'm here with Kai from Belay. Kai, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's always fun to introduce people in our space to our followers and also have the opportunity to say hello to yours. Kai, can you just start by telling us a little bit about Belay?
Sure. So Belay protects rideshare drivers' incomes from any sort of shock to fare or the time-based value of their income. So if you get hit with traffic, if you just have a generally slow day, your income is covered. So let's say you have a slow day or a slow week and you're $200 beneath your goal. If you make less, we simply pay you the difference. So instead of trying to drive and earn that $200 back, which will cost you a lot of money, wear and tear on the car, and probably net you only about $100, you can just get paid out by Belay. And in return, Belay takes up to 4% of your upside. So by sharing your upside and covering all of your downside, you still enjoy uncapped income, but without the stress of an out of control schedule and worries about slow days, traffic, and so on.
It's so important. We were so excited to find you guys because we hear about drivers who face income issues all the time. In legal rideshare space, we represent drivers who have been involved in accidents and injured, and when that happens, they're obviously unable to earn. So our clients all the time are talking about really what happens when they miss a paycheck or when they don't get the earnings that they believe that they're going to get. It literally means not putting food on the table, and Belay steps in to help minimize that risk and help drivers come in with an opportunity to keep a roof over their head, food on the table in the worst case scenario. So can you tell us, Kai, just how did you get this idea? Tell us about the history of the company.
Absolutely. So my mom is a gig worker. So growing up, our income was quite volatile, and the cost of that volatility made it hard to keep food on the table, made it hard to pay rent. Even though my mom made as much as anybody else in sort of the lower middle class, she was in way more credit card debt than her peers just because of the nature of her work. So when I was studying in New Orleans, I met an Uber driver who faced very similar issues. We hit it off, developed a friendship, and just over the course of our conversations, the idea for Belay came about.
It's so smart. I mean, one thing that we recognize with this space is there's so much fluctuation in the earnings, which is really outside of the driver's control. So we talk to drivers who know exactly the hours that they're going to work. They say, I'm going to work 10 hours a day from this time to this time. And to watch how that pay fluctuates, it's aggravating because they can't plan for it. And what I like about Belay is that you guys make that guesswork go away. If, for instance, you find yourself on a slow day unexpectedly, it's not going to change your bottom line for your week or for your month. So the benefits are really important here. Can you explain just a little bit in more detail how a driver protects themselves with your service? How does that process look?
It's quite simple. So you go into our website, ridebelay.com. You connect your account, allowing us to see what you're earning and make sure we can cover you. You put in your times that you tend to drive. And when you drive those times, maintaining an 80% acceptance rate, we cover you. And if you don't, we don't. So that way you enjoy all the flexibility you had before, but when you do choose to drive, you know that you're covered. So you enjoy that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kai. I was going to say you don't hide the ball like some of the other companies that we deal with all the time. You make the rules pretty clear in terms of what a driver needs to do to tap into the benefit that you provide.
Absolutely. And by being able to opt out just with your driving, so if you don't drive, we don't cover you. If you do drive, we do cover you. You maintain that gig level flexibility, and you can enjoy employment level stability when you want it without having a boss, without needing to stick to a schedule.
It's so important. And as I was saying earlier, we represent drivers who have been involved in accidents and injuries. So we find them at some of the most vulnerable times in their lives. Not only is their body isn't working the way they want it to, they're feeling pain, they don't feel like working, but they're really suffering financially as bills are coming in from the emergency room and bills in real life that, cable bill, yada, 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 you've got to pay those. And what I like about, the situation with Belay is that you're going to allow the driver in that worst case scenario to continue providing for their family, paying those expenses. What's the protection that you guys have specifically for accidents and injuries?
We protect your income either when you're driving, maintaining an 85% acceptance rate, or if you are unable to drive and can prove that that is on account of an injury. We'll cover up to $250 of lost income in the case of an injury.
That's great. That money goes a long way when you're not making what you expect. And also, we found some ways to work together. This is a small world, the rideshare community, and we're excited to be working with Belay to provide accident support in that scenario. Kai, can you explain just a little bit about how we're working together?
Absolutely. Belay wants drivers to have their most stable financial lives possible. And accordingly, we've set up an SOS button, or rather will, launching soon in our app that will take you straight to LegalRideshare. So you can check in on your finances in the Belay app, and if you are in need of legal help, can be directed straight from the Belay app to LegalRideshare. We're very excited to be working with a firm that shares our values.
Yeah, we're really excited too. We think it's so important to connect with drivers soon after a crash, because ultimately what we're hoping for is to protect your interests in every way possible. By connecting with LegalRideshare at the scene of the accident or soon thereafter through the SOS button, we're able to advise you on the steps you need to take to ensure that you collect the right evidence, make the right statements to the police officer, take the right photos, say the right things when you contact the rideshare company. And all that in combination will allow you to make the strongest injury claim possible, which means money in your pocket. So while Belay is going to help pad your pocket in the situation where you're unable to work with that $250, we're going to help get reimbursement for the things that you lost. So the lost wages, the medical bills that you incurred, the pain and suffering. And the sooner you reach out to us, the better we're going to be able to assist. So, we're just really excited about this opportunity, and we appreciate working with Belay, to protect drivers in this space. So, Kai, I want to give you the last word here. Is there anything else that we should know about how Belay is moving forward and what the next steps are to your expansion and the work that you do?
Absolutely. So we currently support Uber. We're soon to support Lyft, Uber Eats, DoorDash, and so on and so forth. We're very excited to soon be launching a lost income insurance product through Bunker, which will mean that you can start to pay into a workers' comp program through Belay. And we're even more excited to, as this network grows, begin to get you bulk pricing benefits. So while right now this is lost income protection, it's soon going to become sort of the Costco for gig workers, the central hub of your financial life. And we're so happy to start building that network with LegalRideshare.
That's extremely exciting. I love to hear that. The workers' comp component of it is something that I would like to see every gig worker have access to, regardless of fault in an accident or injury claim. There needs to be protection, and we love seeing companies like Belay step up to provide it. So Kai, thank you so much for your time today. We're really looking forward to our partnership, and I look forward to continued growth for both us and the drivers that we serve.
The feeling is mutual. Thank you so much. Be well.